For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliott Apollos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
What is up, Miley? These are the episodes we always hate to do on non-victory Mondays, and it is a therapy Monday instead. What's going on, man? Oh, everybody, please like, share, subscribe. Welcome to the Do Champions Network. What's up, Miley?
Rough game last night. No Bills win. None of my bets hit. It was just unfortunate.
Yeah.
Dolphins lost me like $120.
Everything
But
else
I guess
yesterday I
we're betting
liked.
on the Dolphins.
Yeah, you can't bet on the Dolphins.
I was
and
betting against the Panthers, but
Yeah. The Panthers aren't good. Neither are the Dolphins.
no.
Yeah, everything else yesterday went really well, I felt like, as far as the way things were lining up. I felt like the Dolphins losing was great. Jets still look like garbage.
The Ravens
are dead.
Right.
Bengals are dead. Chiefs are playing right now. 0-0 game. First quarter.
They're about to score, though, it looks
They
like.
are about to score. Yeah. And I don't know if they'll win or lose tonight. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so I want to get right into it, dude. The first thing I want to say is, like, right off the bat, we're the better team. I'm not afraid of the Patriots. I know that they can have their little victory lap and their glory for a few minutes. It'll end soon. They'll get exposed. They were hyped for this game. They really wanted it. And I felt like we came out flat and sloppy. But also, I just thought the refs right off the bat weren't doing us any favors. There's two phantom holding calls on McGovern that I thought were complete garbage. Even on the replay, I watched them every time. And I'll give people credit. Like, the Kincaid hold was a hold. Like, I'll say if it's a hold, it's a hold. I mean, that's like that snatch trap that Deion Dawkins did a couple last year
Against the Ravens, in the playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, like, they're so incidental. Like, if you're going to call us for that, overanalyze the other team exactly the same way you're doing us, right? And I don't think they were doing that. They did get us kind of even at the end of the game, but those were drives we were moving the ball on anyway. I don't think they really.
And those were obvious calls too.
They were obvious calls, and they were real calls, right? And they finally started throwing flags as kind of like makeup calls. I'm like, dude, you've already put us in a damn hole, And I just thought that was rough. I don't want to complain about the refs anymore. I just think it's worth noting that every time Hockey League calls one of our games, that this tends to happen to us in recent history. I just can't stand him. I can't stand him on with his big 60-year-old jacked arms on thing doing shit.
He's trying to get his 15 minutes of fame in there by showing off his muscles that no one.
His dad was jacked too, right?
I hate Sean Hockey. I've hated him ever since I've watched football, and he's been a ref. He's flat.
No, it's Ed. Oh, are you thinking of Ed, his dad?
Both. He had to learn it from someone.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of vendetta he has against us, but he wasn't doing us any favors last night. I think the couple things you can glean from this game, I think, that are positive are this is the first game I felt like our defense played up to some at least status quo, where the first four games, I don't feel like there was ever a stretch where they played up to like anything close to the caliber that they are.
The Jets game, but
the Jets game, but it just, that was such a weird game because they just can't pass the ball at all. So I thought the defensive line was the best game I've seen them do all year.
Rousseau finally looks healthy.
He does. The pressures were good. I have issue with the way that Bosa is playing, but I mean, he's getting pressures, but he's kind of running up field every play kind of thing. I don't know. So I don't know. I felt like that was better. And I thought, Trey White's Trey White. People are giving him a hard time today. He's not good. He got cooked by Diggs over and over again. Benford's trying to pick up the slack on the other side, and Rapp's not great either. Bishop played pretty well by my estimation. The defense played well enough for us to win that football game. I think that's the main thing I got from. That's the first time this year that I thought like, oh, the defense carried their weight. In the last 4 games, I don't feel like they really carried their weight in the same way.
Yeah. I agree. I thought the defense played well. I think we dominated the line of scrimmage because we weren't able to run the ball well, but we had good pass coverage. I mean, the amount of times where Josh is just standing there 4, 5, 6 seconds in the pocket, just trying to find something. Like our line blocked well, at least in the pass game. The run game, it struggled a little bit, but the Patriots have the second best run defense in the league. Milton Williams and Christian Barmore are the real
good
deal.
Players. Yeah.
And I thought we adapted well. I know you have your issues with Joe Brady. I thought this was his best called game of the year. Outside of that the jet sweep thing to Dawson.
Whatever that is. I don't know what he's doing.
I'm just going to, at this point, I'm going to just accept that there's going to be at least 1 or 2 calls a game that it's going to be stupid.
And his response to me was annoying. Did you hear his response in the presser today? He was like, I'm going to give Dawson, that's not even a trick. That's not even a cute play for me. That's a normal play for us. We'll let, Moore and Curtis Samuel do those plays all the time. I'll take my chances and knock. I'm like, what? Like you're talking about like slot receivers who run 4-3 and you want to give it to a big, not elusive 4-6, 4-5, whatever tight end, like that's not a play a tight end is going to be very successful on, in my opinion, at any point. So, dude, Dalton Kincaid, I mean, this was his real breakout party. This is the first time I watched the game and I was like, this is the player that we envisioned when we drafted him. I mean, he was just so good. I mean, in every way, he was
100%.
crafty. I mean, he just looked like a young, faster Travis Kelce out there yesterday, and I was just so impressed by the way
he was dominating. And credit to Joe Brady after that first drive, he was like, "All right, Kincaid clearly has a mismatch. Let's just keep going after it.
Just do it." And I think he has it every week. I think every week he can do that. They just don't focus on it very often, and I think Allen's starting to click with him a little bit. Where I think in the past he's just been more of a receiver type quarterback versus a tight end type quarterback. And honestly, like they keep talking about separation. Samuel had plenty of separation on numerous routes. We saw the one touchdown that Allen missed.
Yeah.
He was wide open. He had
the touchdown Samuel scored.
And the one he scored.
Motion.
Shakir
like that
got separation.
Play was pretty cool.
What play?
We did the flea flicker. That was
cool. That worked.
That was a play I'll give to Brady. He wanted the deep shot. You saw Allen wanted to go deep, and they had a safety over top. And he's like, "All right, let me go to the next guy." And that's where it's like people like we were throwing the ball down the field, 20, 30 yards down the field. Yeah, we haven't taken those 50, 60-yard shots, but you can't blame Brady for those because he's called them. And then Allen sees it, and nope, there's a safety over top because. We could be playing with a bunch of Mac Hollins and Gabe Davises. They're going to put a safety over top every time just because it's Josh Allen.
And
it does not matter.
And like it's less of like a separation thing, in my opinion. It's more of like a stylistic problem that we have in our receiver room. Even our fast receivers aren't really like go ball 9 route deep threats. They're just not. That's not how they win. They don't. You can tell they're not comfortable in that setting. I mean, Shakir, Curtis, and Moore all are fast guys, but they're not running 9 routes down the field from the boundary. It's just not what they're ever going to do. And Coleman's too isn't fast enough to pull that off and do it on a regular basis. Bless you.
Thank you.
And then also, I think something because I know a lot of people were talking about separation today. I'd love a deep threat. I'm a receiver guy. I would love a receiver that can get deep and get separations, right?
Rashid Shaheed or Chris Olave.
That'd be great. That'd be great. But here's the thing, man. It's also the type of routes that Brady's scheming up for our players. Like when Coleman goes down the field, his separation numbers aren't great because like 4 of his routes were back shoulder or 50-50 balls where he was like set up to be 50-50, not beat the guy down the field.
Glad you brought that up. They finally hit on one of those back shoulder fades on a third down, and that's exactly what I see. Give me like 2 third down conversions a game off that. And that's great. Like,
and then we saw crossers and slants and stuff.
The things that Coleman does great, we saw kind of highlighted in this game, that non-schemed up stuff. Just his ability, back shoulder fades, 50-50 balls. Those are the things where we don't have to scheme him up for those. He just has the natural ability because he's the basketball player. Put the ball where only he can get it. He will get it.
Yeah, and the short area quickness is fine for him. I don't think that's a problem. I think I think he still struggles with like physicality, but that's less of like a strength problem and more of a like he's just young and doesn't really fully understand how to win leverage yet. But they didn't run enough slants with him. They don't run enough drags with him. They don't run enough in breaker. He's great on in breakers. I think that they just don't utilize him enough to give him that kind of high level separate. And he's never going to be a great separator. Don't get me wrong.
I also think part of it is he's kind of just morphed into that third option role. Like Kincaid has kind of taken over as like the number one guy, and then Shakir's that number two safety blanket. So I think they're more so focused on getting those guys touches than Coleman, which honest I agree with. They're better players. Get the ball in there. Shakir, we know how well Shakir is after the catch, and Kincaid has looked great this year. Get the ball in their hands. So I think Coleman's kind of taking a back seat a little bit where they're not they're not focused on getting him touches. But if we're talking about underutilized, right now we have a $12 million decoy in the name of Josh Palmer, and it's not his fault. They run like 2 plays a game where he's actually running the routes he should be. And he gets open, and
he catches it every time.
That drag on what was it, like the second drive or whatever? That deep crosser was the deep crosser.
Yeah.
That
was it a crosser or was it like a flag? I mean, not flat corner route, what people call it.
I think it looked more like a crosser. It looked more like a rounded.
I didn't see the whole thing. Yeah.
I think that was a crosser. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he's not going to ever be someone that will burn you and get like 10 yards of separation. But if he gets 2-3 yards, he's got great hands through contact. He will catch the ball.
He beat
as
Gonzalez.
Long as Josh puts it on the money. Yeah, it's an all-pro corner. Yep. And as long as Josh puts it on the money, he's going to come down with it every time, or he's going to get a PI like he did week 1 against the Ravens.
Yep.
And I remember the one play specifically, I think it was in the second quarter. We ran like Josh Jonas, kind of a play-action rollout, not completely, but we had Josh Palmer running a post corner away from the side that Josh was going towards.
Yeah.
It was just completely took himself out of the play.
No
and then there was no receivers on that side of the field. It was literally, I think Cook ended up running like a block and dump out route.
Yep.
And then Josh had nowhere to throw because we had 2 guys. It was like a max protect, and both guys were running the opposite way. I was just confused. So really, that's my only gripe with Joe Brady. Besides that, I thought he called a really good game. I thought he did great utilizing mismatches, which was Shakir and Kincaid, especially in this game, because the weakness of the Patriots is the safeties and linebackers in coverage. They have 2 really good corners. They have a good defensive line, but Robert Spillane is terrible in coverage. Their safeties aren't that good. And we kind of were, which I don't understand how Robert Spillane was the highest, had the second highest grade in the entire game, only behind Diggs. He had like a 91 PFF grade. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Him and Keon Ellis were getting cooked by Kincaid the entire game, and Shakir, that didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. And Diggs was clearly, I don't know. I mean, you'd think that we, killed his dog or something.
I guess
he forced his way out of Buffalo, and
he cared about it.
He has a revenge game.
We moved on, and so we're not as hyped up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
we're in his head rent free.
Yeah, I think he hasn't moved on fully. I think he misses Josh in some ways.
100%. I mean, Drake May, I think he's great, but he ain't no Josh Allen.
Yeah, I mean, so this is the other thing about the Patriots that I noticed. We would get pressure, and he was making good, really like high-end throws that, like Christian Benford was right there on Diggs on that one catch he caught on the sideline. And I mean, if it's not Diggs or some other receiver has got elite concentration in the ball, he didn't look at the right moment. Like that's an incomplete pass for most. It was great coverage.
Yeah.
He couldn't really dial up a pass defense on that either because or PBU, like he couldn't get around Diggs's body. Like it was just a really good throw and a really good catch, but those aren't like repeatable acts. Like it's like the toe drag swag stuff Gabe was doing that one playoff game against the Colts. Like that was never going to be Gabe's game long term.
That's the game I fell in love with. That was the game I fell in love with Gabe Davis.
Yeah, and I just look at those things and I'm like, I don't see that happening over and over and over again. Though
Patriots had negative EPA per play on passing plays.
This past game.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
They actually had positive EPA running the ball. Mm-hmm. They had 0.12 EPA per play running it and negative 0.05 passing it, while the Bills had 0.18 passing it and negative 0.12 running. which
And
is kind of weird.
And they were 3 for 9 on third down.
Yeah, our defense played pretty well.
They played good enough to win. The problem is
Shaq Thompson is looking like himself again, like he was prior to all these injuries, which is great to see.
Yeah.
Which is honestly makes me think it's repeatable. I don't think this is a fluke thing because we've seen it. He was a really good linebacker, and then he dealt with injuries for a couple of years. And of course, right after that, you're not going to be that good. I thought he was just washed. Apparently, he just needed to get healthy again. And he looks really, really good. And that is great to see because Milano
hasn't looked like himself anyway.
He hasn't been good, but he's been
Thompson.
I
thought Shaq's been better than him. That's kind of what I wanted to transition to.
Bernard, I think the linebackers of Shaq Thompson and Bernard is a top 10 duo. Bernard's looked really good too.
If Thompson's healthy and playing and the one thing about Thompson is he attacks the football. And so does Milano, but in a different type of way, like Thompson's going to be better against the run. He's not going to be as good against the pass, but I think we can kind of mitigate that in some respects. You know what I mean? So I think
with how good Bernard is in coverage.
Yeah. And Bernard had probably his second best game this year.
Yeah.
Last night, I felt like.
I think he's been getting better as the year went on. The Ravens game is really bad. I don't think he was that great in the Jets game. And then like these last 3 games, he's kind of picking up. He's kind of picked it up. And I think that's just that was the same way last year too. I remember the first 2 games of the year, that Cardinals game and that Dolphins game was not good. Yep. And then he started to pick it up and then he got injured. So, and then he was battling injuries. So what I'm hoping is that this year he picks it up and then just stays healthy and can ride that momentum.
I've noticed he's kind of protecting his body while he attacks the football more. Which is good. Like he's coming in hard. He's coming in hot. But in the past, he was kind of wrapping it, so to speak, no pun intended, with a Taylor Rapp kind of attack, right? Where he's just not even, he's like his body's just, he's not even worried about his body. Yeah, like with a reckless abandonment, right? So, but recently I felt like he's been more controlled in the way he's coming at the ball. And he has to do that. He's not a big guy. So I thought he played great. I thought that Bishop was pretty good the majority of that game. I think he gave up 1 catch that was kind of a backbreaker. But, I mean, are we really that concerned with 1 play? Like every safety in the league makes mistakes every single week.
I think he missed 1 or 2 tackles or whatever. Like this wasn't it. He wasn't as good as he was last week against the Saints. No, but I thought he was pretty
good. It's a different opponent too, right? They got better receivers in this. Well, maybe not better receivers, a better quarterback. And then Boutte or Booty, whatever you want to call him, him and Diggs are a good combo. They're not amazing, but they're a solid, mid-tier combo for him. And I thought May made some great plays. Don't get me wrong, and he made some crucial plays, but I don't see him repeating that over and over and over again. I just don't think he's. I don't know. When I saw them on the field together, because they keep calling him kind of like a mini Josh Allen. When I see him and Josh playing the same field together, I'm like. Yeah, there's a difference between their physical skills. It's still pretty stark. Like Allen's arm is still much better. He's much better scrambler. He's a bigger guy, Yeah,
May was making Josh Allen-esque plays, but he was doing it every once in a while. The difference is that's just Josh.
It's like Josh Allen.
No, the thing is, though, he's making Josh Allen-esque plays. Josh Allen is just Josh Allen. Like
Josh Allen,
he's making, those are what are rare plays for May is just normal every other down.
Like the first catch by Kincaid where Josh skirted the pressure and he's going left and he just flew it in there like it was like a dart. I'm like, that's the difference.
That's Josh. Yeah. See, that's a normal play. And it's like to 95% of the league, that's like their quarterback's best play of the game. And to Josh,
of his life. I mean, that could be that'd be like Tua's best play ever. It'd be a low-end quarterback, If he can
Josh,
even do it.
It's like he makes one of those a drive.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of the difference, right? So I saw that and I just noticed I know it's therapy Monday and this is part of the therapy, but just reanalyzing the game, I think that our talent level is a 2 tiers above theirs for sure. In addition to having a quarterback that's 2 tiers above their quarterback. I think on any given Sunday, they could steal one from us like they just did. But I think if we play 10 games, we're going to win 8 of them for sure.
If honestly, in my opinion, if I'm the Patriots, I'm an upset alert next week against the Saints.
Yeah, that's what they look good. They look good.
Yeah, they look good. Yeah. I get it was against the Giants, but like they won.
Giants beat the Chargers.
Exactly. It's not a division game. I'm pretty sure it's in New Orleans.
It's in New Orleans.
Coming off this emotional.
Yep. I think they better watch what they're doing with that game. Two back-to-back away games too. That can kind of wear on you a little bit. I think that I'd have them on upset alert myself. I just think that there's always a letdown after a big emotional game on their part. I think the next time we play them, you can track this down because I called it. We talked about this in the pre-show when we were talking backstage. I called this loss in our prediction week of the schedule.
Yeah. All right.
I did call it. My next call is the next time we play the Patriots. Josh is going to go nuclear and just mop the floor with them. At the end of that game, he was pissed off. You could tell in his presser, he was pissed off. I was watching him like, this is different. This is not like downtrodden Josh. This is I'm mad we lost.
I think Atlanta's better than than probably the Jets, the Dolphins, the Saints, and they probably are on par with the Patriots. I think we make them look like the worst team in football when we play. I think Bijan will be their only saving grace, and I think we get them off the floor with them because I think Josh is going to come out pissed. Monday Night Football, Josh is a demon. We've seen it before, and I think he's going to go absolutely nuclear and put up 5 touchdowns on that defense. I think that the defense is going to come out on fire. Bijan's going to do his thing because Bijan might be the best running back in football. It's probably between him, McCaffrey, and Jonathan Taylor right now.
Yeah, followed closely by Cook.
Yeah, exactly. But like Bijan is, I don't think he gets talked about enough. He's just consistently he puts up over 100 scrimmage yards every single game.
Yep.
He's in Atlanta. Like that's not a very good place to be in. Like no good quarterback passing attack to counteract people game plan around him, and they just doesn't matter.
So I think
Bijan is a beast.
Yeah, I think too. Like, I agree with that sentiment. I think they're going to take out their frustration on somebody, and they're going to come out firing this week. I don't think they're messing around. I do feel there was a little sentiment of them getting bored I know it sounds stupid, right? We're all bored watching us just beat teams by double digits every week. Probably they're not great teams, especially outside the division, like the Saints.
Yeah.
But I think there's an element to that to players too. When they're playing the games, it's like, okay, we keep playing these teams that we're superior to, and now we're not actually bringing our A game in some respects.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how we elevate because we play down to our competition too often.
Yeah.
This from Steve. We played bad, 3 turnovers, 11 penalties. We lost on last second field goal. I'm good, not panicking. I agree.
This brings up a great point. As Aaron Rodgers once said, RELAX.
Yep.
Relax. The fan base, this happens every single year. We've lost. This is the 3rd straight week 5 game we've lost. We do this every year. We're elite in September. We're like the best team ever. And then come October, we start getting a little complacent and we have a bad loss.
Yep.
This was the bad loss. And it's good and then we figure it out. We get out of the rut and we turn it back up. And I get it's like, oh, well, these are the issues that come up in the playoffs. I'm not saying we don't have any issues. There's things that need to be addressed. And that's a good thing about a loss is it shows them they're highlighted. Against the Saints or the Dolphins, we had a lot of those same issues, but it's like we won. Who cares? Swept it under the rug. All right, this cost us the game. Now we can look and fix these issues. And I think there's 3 realistic fixes right now. I think you got to get Olave or Shaheed. I think you need one of them because right now that's the most realistic team. They have Olave is just, I think, an underrated receiver, really good. I think he'd be the clear wide receiver 1 on our team. And Shaheed's just like the perfect fit to what we need. So I would be fine with either. And then you have to get an upgrade from Troy White. I get Max is coming back, so I'm not saying you need to go and get a CB2. I'm just saying you need to get a backup better than Trey White. You have to ensure that Trey White never plays a snap again. He can go enjoy the rest of his time on the bench and then retire after this year. He's kind of do what Micah Hyde and Poyer are doing. Do that, Trey White. Just don't play for us anymore. And then get a safety to replace Taylor Rapp. I think then when Max comes back, I think you put someone and to replace Rapp with how bad he's bad. Put him on IR because he's just not healthy. I think that hip injuries, from what I've heard, is really they're hampering him. He's slow down. And if you put him, I think this will help Benford look better and Bishop look better because I thought they've both played fine. Benford's not playing like he did last year, but there's so much pressure in those 2 guys because every other player in the secondary has been awful this year that they're trying to make up the slack, and they can't do it.
So, and the other piece I think is It's let's say that this is what I wanted to say actually earlier. So somebody made a comment that this was Allen played awful as his worst game or something. It's ridiculous. And I was like, I'll take 70% completion percentage, 100 passer rating as the worst game, and losing by 3 is his worst game. Okay, that's fine. Like
I think he had 3 bad plays.
Yeah. And if you take the missed Curtis Samuel throw, the shovel pass situation where you should have let Ty Johnson get the ball and the pick. I mean, we're talking about him having a 4 touchdown day and 300 yards and winning the game by 10 points.
Yeah. And my thing is, it's like the pick came off of a BS pass interference where Josh was clearly pressing in the second half, because the first half he was calm, cool, collected, and he was just hitting throws, and then BS penalty, no run game, no one got open, and then you could see in the second half he was starting to get frustrated and he was starting to press. And I'm not saying no fault to Allen there, but that's gonna happen to everyone. Like every quarterback.
Houston's gonna play us the same way.
Yeah,
they're gonna say we're stopping Cook, throw the ball on us. We have 2 elite corners, deal with it. And then we're gonna figure it out.
At least against Houston, is their run defense isn't as good,
and their pass rush is better though.
Yeah, their offensive line. That is true, but their offensive line is so ungodly bad that we can score 17 points against.
And CJ can't. Yeah, CJ doesn't have the same ability to escape pressure that Drake does either. You know.
Yeah, like our defense should be able to clamp them, so we could score 17 against the Texans and win. I would be the way we played the Ravens in the divisional round last year.
Yep.
I feel like we're going to play that exact same game plan against the Texans, and honestly, do it. I don't care if Josh. I don't want Josh's numbers to look pretty in that game. I don't want him to try to. If they do somehow, cool. Great. I just want him to win. No teams had good numbers against the Texans. They have probably the best defense in football.
I think we're kind of past the whole I hope so. The whole 9 for 30 stuff, the really far range, outlier games.
The receivers have looked not great, but they're still much better than last year. The Patriots played the exact same style against us last year, and you saw there was absolutely nothing. At least in this game, we had Shakir and Kincaid were getting open. Palmer had a nice play there. Coleman had a nice play there. Samuel, they were at least making some plays. There was still a lot of no separation. There's still some improvement, but you can tell this receiving core is definitely a step above last year.
Sure, and it's just development too. With
instead of bottom 5, it's more like bottom 10. It's of the 20th
12 range. Maybe. Yeah, I kind of like bottom 12. Like probably 18, we're 19, 20.
Yeah, exactly. We're in the 18 to 22 range where it's below average, but it's not awful like it was last year, which is good.
We can it's noticeable. We can mitigate some of the receiver ineptitude with scheming, where last year, if teams played us a certain way, we could not, like the Chiefs game at the end, we couldn't scheme people open at that end at all. Texans weren't able to do it. The Ravens game, we weren't able to. The second Ravens game, we weren't able to scheme them open. Like they just weren't there last year. Now they kind of are, right?
They can at least if you. Yeah, exactly.
And Palmer's better than Cooper. To
Kincaid
me,
is better than he was last year.
Coleman's he's healthier.
Better than he was last year.
Yeah.
Shakir is the same, basically.
And the run game's better.
Because Cook's taking a step. Too. But we do have to talk about Ray Davis. I'm thinking he probably draft a running back this year.
They're going to draft somebody.
Day 3. Yeah. Draft a day 3 guy and replace Ray unless he picks it up.
I think they love him. I think he's a good kid.
I like Ray. I like Ray, but he has looked rough. Cook played 48 out of the 64 snaps. He was outside of our offensive line and Josh, who play every single snap.
He was next.
He was the leading snap, and I don't want that. Especially this early. Come playoff time, against the AFC Championship in the Chiefs. Sure, you play them 80% of snaps. I don't care. We're trying right now in October. I don't want that wear and tear on his body. I want him to sit with the 50%. But right now, I think we just kind of, because Ray Davis has just not looked that good, is why Cook's getting these reps. And I'm just afraid that it's going to come back. It's not like Cook's shown he's not durable, but we haven't seen it on this workload. Yeah. And I'm afraid that come the end of the year, he either will be injured or will play a little bit worse. And that'll be a big loss.
So I'll say this too. I know you were talking about what kind of deals we can make before the deadline. I have a lot of concern with their ability to actually do these things or want
Oh
to do
yeah,
these things. Like
just because I want to see them happen doesn't mean
they're not going to probably do anything.
You got to at least do. I think there's got to at least be something to be done.
Yes, so
Bean at
Rap
least usually
is
makes
not
at least
going.
one.
I don't think
Bean-
they're going
Bean-
to. I don't think they want to get rid of Rap at all.
Yeah, but I think a move will happen. Bean has shown he will make.
He'll
moves.
do it
I mean,
if he sees
Amari
us
last
struggling.
year, Rasul the year before. He is not a proponent. Like, yeah, he won't sit there and do nothing. At least every year at the deadline, we at least make some move of some proportion.
My concern though is like because of all the hoopla in the offseason with WGR and like they're getting on them about receivers. I wonder if his, hubris or whatever you want to call it, kicks in and he's like, I don't need this. I already know we're fine. Why are you criticizing an offensive pass unit that gets up 250 yards a game? That's what we're doing right now, right? It doesn't feel like it, but we're average. We're like the 6th ranked passing volume offense in the league. And I do wonder, if he looks at it and goes, we don't need it. And then Rap, I don't think he had any intention to get rid of him, and they love Trey White. He made glowing remarks again today about Trey White in the press conference about how he's done a good job and those guys know how to play football and all this other dumb stuff about Trey White that we know is a lie.
Yeah,
I've had problems with Trey White 4 years ago, by the way, after his all-pro season. I felt like he was giving up way too much right after that as well. Like, I've never been a big
I think it's a McDermott
fan.
Just loves his guys a little too much.
I agree.
One of those
and that's the
people,
thing. I just don't see him do anything. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
Like the same thing with with Rap. Like, he's clearly struggling out there. He looks lost. I almost would put DeMar Hamlin back there over him at this point. It sounds stupid.
And that's saying something because we both
I don't like
even
DeMar
think
Hamlin.
DeMar should be on the roster.
I agree. At least he knows where to be. That's the thing. Like, Rap doesn't even look like he knows where he is on the field half the time. He looks lost, like he's just running around in circles. And I'm like, golly, man, like, can't we at least just know your assignment? Don't be 15 yards too deep every play, And I mean, that last the double move Diggs catch, he got there super late on that. Like, he should have seen that coming, especially in that part of the field. Yeah. And I don't know. It's rough. I mean, maybe he gets it together. At least Bishop is showing me that he's a starting caliber player, probably. I don't know if he's a high-level starter, but he's definitely a starting level player. That's all we really need back there.
Yeah, exactly.
Just two regular starters.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure this safety class is supposed to be pretty good.
It's pretty good, solid. It's got one really high-end player from Ohio State.
Our draft analyst has prior plans. That's why Randall isn't here. He's got something else going on. But I would have asked him about it if he was on here. And I think he said before. And I mean, we got Jordan Hancock too. I would rather Hancock go and to replace Teron because Teron has also not looked good at all. I think after this year, I think I would not be opposed to, if Hancock continues to improve, maybe throwing Hancock in that slot corner next year.
I think that's the plan for him. I think that they brought. He's such a similar type of player to Teron Johnson, whatever. And I think that he started showing some signs at safety. He could play that. I think they brought him in to be like, okay, he can do both of these things. Let's just see what he's best at. And then whatever organically we get to, he'll slot into, right? If we don't want to keep Rap next year, he'll take care of Rap, or if he's good enough. Or, hey, we'll slot him into Teron's spot if Johnson starts to show his age more, which I think he has to an extent this year. He's never been great in coverage, by the way. I mean, he's always been okay in coverage. He
had one
run
his all-pro year. He was really good in coverage.
Pretty solid.
And that's why he was an all-pro, is because we know what he can do as a run defender. So when he was elite in coverage that one year, it made him that level. But I thought he's
30. Is he 30 now? 29.
He's got to be.
He's at least 29.
We drafted him in 2018.
Oh, he's Josh's age. So he's probably 29 to 30, somewhere in that range. So I don't know. Like, I mean, we can get by with him playing the way he is. That's not a concern.
No, I'm not saying replace him right now, but it's looking like we're
close
on
to
the wrong side. Yeah.
Yeah, we're at the end. I think the moves I'd make at the deadline, I thought the D tackles played really good in this past game.
Yeah, Daquan Jones. I will say you are continuing to play better.
Yeah.
I was a little harsh after week one. But I will give the credit where it's due. He is playing better. I still don't like him. But
Dion played another good game,
plays.
man.
And then the call-ups, Logan, Mathis,
they played good.
Yeah,
all they had to do is not get noticed, and they didn't.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what Steve's saying about how they did Poyer his last year in Buffalo. They
just bring him in on special packages. Yeah,
just they moved him. They had him in the box and just to go hit. And I mean, I don't hate that. You put him in that as like more athletic linebacker coverage. They did that a lot with Poyer that final year, and I thought that's where Poyer was his best. They'd actually bring Rapp in to be the safety, and they move Poyer into the box. And I kind of agree with that because right now he's just not moving the same.
Yeah, I think would be ideal for him to be in that package as just like your dime backer and just be able to roam a little bit and cover and attack the ball, so he doesn't think too much, just click and close, react. I think that's the best way to do it. And then other thing, the other reason I don't think corner's on the table at all is because I think they do expect Harrison to come back. Although Dorian Strong being hurt could force their hand a little bit.
At least get someone.
Because I don't think he's coming back this year.
Yeah, me neither. I honestly don't bring him back because what's the point in rushing him back? Because by the time he'll be back, Max will be already playing. So it's not like he's going to be a starter. Yep. So let him work in a neck injury. You don't mess around with neck injuries. That could be career. You mess around with a neck injury, your career could go with it.
Yep. And that play where Trey got beat on the double move from Diggs, the little loop-de-loop thing he did.
Yeah.
I think that Max Harrison at full strength, that's the kind of play he gets interceptions on. Like he would have gotten beat for sure. Like Harrison got beat all the time in college. He's just so fast that he recovers and he'll gap it and get the interception. And I feel like that's the kind of play where he didn't have to cover too much ground. He could have turned around. Trey almost got there actually.
And I think it can pair well.
Interception.
I think it can pair well with our pass rush that maybe doesn't always get the sack, but at least gives pressure, makes the QB move around, which will give Max more time to be able to recover.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of the reason they took Max instead of Trey Amos or someone like that, because I think Amos was more like your traditional, Christian Benford type corner. He's not going to wow you.
We already have one of them.
We already have one of them. He's not getting a ton of interceptions. He's not going to attack the ball like that. Where Harrison is like, he's a flawed but explosive player. And I think they really are missing that.
And he's not like Elam where he can't play zone coverage.
Mm-mm. No, exactly.
At least he's shown he can play zone. And I mean, Elam can't even play man at this point.
Like he's like he's kind of similar to a lot of these guys in the past who aren't great actual coverage corners, but they just know how to get interceptions. Like
Antonio Cromartie.
Yeah, or Peters.
Patrick Peterson.
Marcus Peters.
Oh, Marcus Peters. Yep. Or, Jack Jones, but better.
Xavier Howard was another one that got a lot of interceptions, but he got beat a lot too. Like that's the kind of in the same vein that he is. Oh, Bland and Diggs are both like this, where they get beat, but then they'll give you 8 picks in a year, and they're like, "Well, I got 8 interceptions out of this guy," and you feel good about it. But
which I mean is really good. As much as I don't love corners like that,
I don't either. I didn't like Harrison.
At least
wasn't my favorite.
At least as like a CB2. I think his aggression will make Benford play better, not feeling he has to make up for the slack because Max can do that. And making those plays, if you give Josh Allen extra possessions, he's going to capitalize. So as much as I don't love those type of corners, I think it could work here.
Yeah, because of the way we play football,
Exactly.
I want to give Randall's thoughts. He's it's his anniversary.
Yeah, his anniversary. Yep.
Is there an anniversary song we should sing him?
No, I'm not a singer. I don't even have my full voice.
All right, so he had some notes. There's a lot of notes here, but he referenced players with good games that he saw. He looked at on the All-22, by the way. This is not just his, like he watched the tape, and this is what he came back with. So Shaq, Rousseau, TB, Bishop, except for the one missed tackle, Kincaid, Shakir, and that's the only ones he put in the good category. I think we can all agree with that.
Dawkins was our highest graded player, I'm pretty sure. Or he was one of our highest graded players, yeah. He graded out pretty well on PFF.
Yeah, I thought that the line played.
I think our tackles played well. Our interior offensive line didn't look great.
I thought Torrance was a bad game too. I didn't think Torrance played
David Edwards has had a rough start to the year. That's been our worst rushing attack has been behind Edwards, which I mean we kind of already knew Edwards was our worst offensive lineman, but he's kind of looked rough this year.
Yep. And then bad
but
games.
I mean, Dawkins and Brown.
Yeah, they're a great tackle duo.
Yeah.
The top 2, I'd say. Maybe 3.
I'd put them 3 just because Penei Sewell's so good that it makes, and then Mailata and Lane Johnson.
Yeah.
Exactly. Decker's solid enough that when you have someone like Penei Sewell being that good, that it's, and then Mailata and Lane Johnson are.
Lane's played bad this year, though. Lane has scored,
but at least
pretty poorly.
At least he gets the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly. Bad games, Trey White, Benford, but he said not awful for Benford, just he's down. It's an arrow down. Milano, Bosa. I agree on Bosa. I think Bosa's running upfield way too much. That touchdown they ran was Bosa's fault for not setting the edge. He ran right past him. He went outside of him, and he was cooked. And then as soon as they passed him, I was like, that's a touchdown. I mean, I could on the video you could see it.
I think Bosa will start to reel it in. I think he's trying to prove something right now.
He's fine. He's trying to he's big game hunting. You can tell he wants sacks. He's trying to get the sack numbers up, and because that's what they've asked him to do. They're like, hey, come in here. We need a guy who gives us 12 sacks a year. Go get it. And he's at 2 in 5 games, which is fine. I don't necessarily.
I think as the year goes on, he will start to be like, all right, let's just lock in.
Let's just lock in and do what I'm supposed to do. He said Cook didn't run like his usual self, but the O-line and packages for Cook were not great. I kind of disagree. I don't think Cook got enough run. I thought that they'd run him sporadically in this game, and then they backed away.
I think like 15 carries.
It wasn't that much.
Well, I think
a lot of it was.
I think a lot of it was first half penalties, just getting us out of running situations.
We kept getting out of it behind the sticks.
And then second half losing, having to throw the ball.
Yeah. We just kept getting behind the sticks. And then kept Jackson Halls off the field too, because he did mention that as well. He thought that they could have brought Alec Anderson in to do that, to be the 6th lineman instead. But I don't really see where that would make a difference. If you're going to do that, just put Halls in the game, because we were passing the ball so much anyway at that point. He said Allen didn't have a good game. And he left points on the board with a forced interception. The RPO held. He held onto the walk-in touchdown. So it's like 3 plays we just talked about were the reason he thought it was a down arrow.
He's a little harsher on Josh for those 3 plays than I am.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were not good plays. They left points on the board, but I think he was so good outside of it. And at least like the interception and the missed touchdown, the RPO one was, that one was just a pure bad play. At least the interception was coming off that bad PI. And then the miss Samuel, I get why it was a clean pocket, but I get why he was just trying to make something happen.
Yeah.
I get why he was starting to bail pockets early in the second half. I think he was pressing, just trying to make plays. And I think he would miss people because of it, which it's not good on Allen, but it's like, that's based on the fact that earlier in the game, the wide receivers couldn't get open.
Yeah.
Where that's it. What led it? It's like the cause of it. It's not a good result for Allen, but I think if you take away these things, it's not going to lead to Allen doing it again. So that's why I don't put as much fault in them. They're bad plays, but I don't fault Allen as much as Randall was.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. And then this message from Steve about being shocked the running backs didn't catch passes. I think that's a double-edged sword. I think Cook is the one who's playing all these reps, and I would love to see Cook catch some more passes too, because he's so electric in the open field. But I think because they run with him so much that I feel like they're worried about putting undue damage on his body by involving him in both sides. And I think he's staying in for pass protection more often too. I think because we need it in some respects. We've been giving up a lot of pressures, I feel like, the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, our interior offensive line has been struggling a bit.
Yeah.
Also, I think part of it is we just have a lot of receivers that are good in the short area also, that we don't really rely on running.
We don't need it because we're running screens to Shakir and Samuel and Kincaid.
Yeah, exactly. And and short slants and drags and short passes where we don't need to get our running backs involved as much.
Yep. He said Christian Barmore abused the interior line. We just talked about that to speed up
Barmore's
Josh.
A beast.
Just one thing I want to talk, I think that's worth noting. People keep saying Allen was rushing or pressing or sped up. I don't know if I necessarily agree with it. I just think that he was trying to we were in this type of game for once where we were coming back again. So we had to flip the switch and become a passing team. It was relatively successful if you think about it.
Oh yeah. Allen played great, but
I don't think he was I guess the wrong word is pressing. I mean, I hear people say press or like kind of I think sped up is maybe the better answer, but also think that like we were
Really,
just
I would
we were
say
down by
pressing.
10. We were down by 10.
Well,
You know,
I would even before that. I'm just saying, like, I just saw there was like a lot of plays where he's just standing there scanning the field, trying to find something, and then the next play afterwards, it leads to like an ill-advised throw or
Right.
something like that, where it's just like he was just frustrated the play before, so he kind of lets his frustration out. I thought there was just a little bit of that. That's kind of why I said pressing.
the one that I thought he pressed on was the interception. He shouldn't have thrown it. Jones was hovering in that little. He's in the shallow area.
And I kind of
near
had a feeling like in the back of my head after that PI, I'm like, I just had a feeling Josh was going to throw a pass.
Such a ticky-tack PI, too.
I'm like, he's going
so close.
When they were doing the same thing, the Patriots
whole
did the exact
game.
same thing.
Like, he did get out and block too early, but
Either
like,
you
it's
call-
not that crazy.
You call both or you call neither. If they didn't call either, I would have been fine with it.
Fine with it. Yeah,
But if
or
they're
they call
calling it
both,
on us,
fine.
call it yes. Just
Exactly.
stay consistent. That's all I want.
So one thing we didn't do last week that we need to do to finish the show off, that's predictions, because we didn't do one last week and we lost. So we gotta reel it back in and get the mojo back for the team. Okay. So what are your thoughts about how do you think this game plays out? Score predictions and just the overall dynamics of the game. Like, what do you think the breakdown is going to be past a run, things like that? Like, are we going to see more passing going forward in the next few weeks? Are we going to be scaling it back again? Like, what are your thoughts?
I kind of alluded to it earlier, but I think this is I think we're going to dominate this game.
Mhm.
I have 38-17. I see our offense coming out and probably having its overall most consistent game. Like I don't know if we'll put up a 40 bomb like he did against the Ravens, but I think it'll just be consistent throughout. I think Joe Brady's starting to open up the playbook more, as we saw in this last game, and that downfield passing attack looked a lot better. And the rushing attack didn't look great, but the Patriots have really good rush defense. The Falcons do not.
Yeah,
so I think we're going to be able to run the ball, and we already showed we can throw it down the field to Kincaid. We can hit deep crossers with Palmer. I think we're going to open those plays up a little bit more to balance it out.
And their defense nowhere near as good as the Patriots. In my opinion.
It's going to be a very balanced attack, in my opinion. And then I'm not scared of Michael Penix at all. So I think we can sell out to stop Bijan. He's going to get his own. They have a good offensive line with Chris Lindstrom. I'm a little scared for our D tackles with how good Chris Lindstrom is. I'm afraid he's just going to open up some holes like that. Bijan's great with screens, and we struggle a lot against screens, so I'm a little worried in that regard. Just with our tackling issues, Bijan in open space, but I'm not really worried about their wide receivers. I mean,
tackling was better this week.
Yeah,
it was way better this week.
I
think they dialed back all the exotic stuff in this game. There's a lot of back end exotic stuff where they're flipping.
I saw a couple nice stunts, like pass rush stunts, but it
was solid.
Darnell Mooney's done nothing. Our linebackers are really good in coverage, so I'm not too worried about Kyle Pitts. I think Bernard and Shaq will be able to hold that just fine.
I think this is the first we get an interception by the cornerback room, because Penix likes to do those long wind up far side outside the hash throws he throws sometimes. Like the ones he used to throw. Those are like interception city if we can jump them.
And I think Benford matches up better against like a Drake London-esque wide receiver than he has the last couple of weeks, where it's Diggs, Garrett Wilson, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, these fast, quick, twitchy wide receivers.
Yep.
Yeah. He's better against the bigger body, more physical type wide receivers.
I think we match up.
He can kind of hang in their hip pocket better and then make the play.
And Penix can't run. So this is a better matchup for our defense to kind of hang our hat on, is like you got a non-running quarterback who is young and takes chances, can be confused. And they're a heavy running team, but I think that we can kind of right the ship by playing the same game plan we sort of did against the Jets, where we focus on the run a whole lot and then let Benford just play one-on-one with Drake London and just play the guys straight up. Like
safety over time.
We lose.
I'm not worried about Darnell Mooney, Olamide Zacchaeus, or anyone else that they have in that wide receiver room. So
Zacchaeus is in Chicago.
Oh, Washington. Or I don't even know. You're right. I don't even know who their wide receiver 3 is.
Yeah, he was torching us in the preseason.
Oh yeah, I remember that now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you put make Rapp's job super easy.
Yep.
Have him bracket over Benford.
Yep. And
Put
just
Bishop
cover
on
the
the
top.
other side to bracket over Trey White, because like Trey White's gonna need all the help he can get, even against Darnell Mooney, because Trey White sucks.
Yep.
But you just put Rapp over Benford, like I was saying, and then Kyle Pitts. I'm just not. I think I'm gonna do the math. I think if I had to guess the number of receiving yards we've allowed in 5 games to tight ends, it's probably about 100. I think
we've done a good job.
Hunter Henry had 2 catches, and they were like plays where Drake May had like 6 seconds in the pocket, and Hunter Henry finally on this deep drag got all the way down in his route where he finally got open.
Think about Pitts.
They were on Milano too.
I think Pitts is more of a mythical creature than he is a real creature. You know what I mean? Like we talked about Pitts when he came out, how athletically talented he is. He's almost like this folklore person, not real person.
I loved Pitts
I know he's a great college player, and I think in the pros it just hasn't clicked. Like that first year was really good, and then after that it just hasn't clicked.
Man, I missed those days of Kyle Trask, Pitts, and Tony.
No, Kyle Trask, yeah, I remember
that was. I remember he was so good. I mean, he was a Heisman finalist basically.
Yeah,
that offense was so electric, but their defense was terrible. And Marco Wilson decided to throw a shoe, so they missed the college football playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this game. I think they're going to come out firing this game. I think they're going to take all their frustration out on them. I think it sounds crazy, but I think losing to the Patriots is a wake-up call that we're not just run through the season, right? And,
the bye's coming up, so they know. Yeah, and with the bye coming up, they're going to have extra motivation, because it's like if they get a little banged up, you get 2 weeks off. And then you play the Panthers, which I'm not saying you look over teams, but, like, it is the Panthers.
Well, too, like, when you're – like, I mean, just from playing high school football even, like if you win – you work on things, but you don't if you won the game, you don't actually do it.
Yeah. Film room's a little bit different after
it's different because you're like, you got away with this, man. You got to watch out next time. And you don't really work on it. But
when you lose, it's
just hammer it home. We're going to fix this tomorrow because it can't happen again. And that's what I think. Now in the pros, it's way different, right? They're working on everything every week, but there is a psychological advantage to losing and implementing a plan in place to actually fix and correct a problem that's been like the run. If it's really egregious, like the run defense or the tackling in the last few weeks, you really do something about it, even if you're winning. But a game like this where we see, penalties are going to get cut down way down this game. I think they're going to protect the ball a lot better. I think our little run of turnovers is going to end. And I think that we're going to realize that these are kind of the major issues that we're dealing with. And on defense, I think McDermott had something to do with the defense this week. I just have a feeling he got involved.
And it felt like it was a lot less exotic. It wasn't trying to do as much.
He was not trying to do as much. So.
And Rousseau being healthy is so huge for our pass rushing room. I mean, he was great in the run defense. He had 4 run stops. He had that first drive, he had a sack and a chase down TFL. And then the Falcons, honestly, their defensive rookies have looked really good. But, there is not, besides Bates and AJ Terrell, there isn't much. Xavier Watts has looked good. And then Jalen Walker and James Pierce have shown flashes. But I think Dawkins and Spencer Brown with help there, I'll be able to handle those guys.
You can argue Terrell and Bates aren't really in their prime anymore either. You know what I mean?
Watts has probably been the better looking safety out of the two.
Yeah,
Watts
and
great.
And the one thing I do, I have my own criticism of Brady, but I think the one thing that Brady does really well is realize our weaknesses and stray away from them, and then attacking the weaknesses of the other team with the strengths that we have, and figure out a way to utilize our strengths to really target the weaknesses on the defense versus just we're going to the Bengals probably line up every week and they're just go win Chase and Higgins, we'll win.
Zach Wilson's an idiot.
Yeah, we can't do that. And no team really should do that. But I think Brady's one of his main things is really
Dorsey.
Good. Yeah, and
that's how
it was Dorsey did that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that's why that's one of the reasons why I like Joe Brady is he feels like he's very adaptable at least.
I agree. That's the one thing that my favorite part about him is we're talking about in-game adjustments going from the first half to the second half. I think he's one of the best in the league at that. Like,
that's
even
why
this
our
past
offense
game,
usually looks much better in the second half.
I
Usually
agree.
first quarter it comes out on fire. Second quarter it usually struggles a good amount. And then the second half we kind of turn it on.
Yeah. McDermott definitely was working with the defense from Carl versus the Pats, and maybe that led to being more sloppy on offense 2023 issues. Maybe
I get what
I think
get what
McDermott
he's saying.
stays out of it, honestly. I think he stays out of the offense. I think he gives us suggestions and walks away and lets Brady handle it from those. That's why after the game he's like, we got too cute. I don't think he really has anything to do with the game plan on offense. I mean, I could be wrong, but
yeah. And then since 2018, Sean Hockley, the Bills are 1-5. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of
Feels
like
like
us. It's like the Scott Foster CP3 in basketball. I don't know if any of you guys watch basketball, where he's like 0-14 and like playoff games that Scott Foster's were after just overall games. I don't know the exact number, but like they have a big beef or whatever. And I feel like it's the same way as Sean
I don't
Hockley
get it.
hates Buffalo for some reason.
It makes no sense. But yeah, so my score prediction, let's go 34-14. That's the way I think it's very similar.
Mine,
I think it's going to be a double-digit win. Yeah, maybe we come back next Tuesday and we're crying about it or whatever. But we'll talk about if we're coming on Monday or Tuesday next week, because I'm assuming we don't want to do this during the game.
I'm not going to be available during the game.
Yeah, you'll be at the game. So
I won't be at the game. It's in Atlanta.
Oh, that's right. That's right. But yeah,
I'm just going to be watching the game. Yeah, so I'm going to be focused on watching the game.
We'll talk. We'll talk to Matt or Student Body and just see what they suggest we do, because our viewership is going to be low if we're simulcasting during the game. It doesn't make any sense. We're not the Manning cast,
Yeah.
Yeah, we're funnier than those guys.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, Steve says 33-20. That feels right. Also,
may not be the Manning cast. We are the Alex cast.
We are the Alex cast. If we get rid of Randall. So if he keeps having phantom anniversaries, we're gonna have to do that.
Or he keeps getting sick or whatever reasons he makes up.
He's sick, and then he's like, "Oh, we got another one. Hold on, sure, we're gonna answer these because why not?" Is it coincidence? Is it coincidence or signal that Ryan Nielsen had good DL pressure with massive cornerback play drop off for the Jags? Prior to his Bills position. I don't think it has anything to do with it. I think that the Jags corners last year weren't very good. Better pressure is going to lead to better cornerback play most of the time, and he doesn't have anything to do with the corners if he's the DL coach there.
Also,
was he DC or DL coach there? Was he DC? He was DC,
sure.
Wasn't he?
He might have been, but also after Tyson Campbell went injured, their secondary was god awful.
It was garbage. Yeah, and they didn't do anything else right. Like they've got two elite pass rushers out there. I don't know if that really.
And they have no D linemen to get interior pressures.
Yeah, they really don't. So we have 37. You said 38-17.
Yeah,
I was 34-14. We'll have to ask Randall later on. He's not going to be on to give us an answer, but oh god, more. We got another one here. Hold on. Do you think Penix is going to throw some picks? I get the impression he may make some wow throws versus our defense. Yeah, see, the thing about Penix that I think is interesting is he has kind of a long windup,
and he's not very accurate.
He's not, and he's willing to take throws he probably shouldn't from a stationary position, right? Like it's one thing to be Allen and run right and get the defense shifting with you and then throw back left, plus he has a massive arm. But to sit in the pocket and from the right hash and throw outside the numbers to the left. And I mean, sometimes that ball, he got away with it 2 weeks ago, whatever, when he had a really good game 2 weeks ago. And he got away with it. But I remember watching the ball get there and I'm like, that looks like pick six to me. I think our defense is better than the Commanders' defense. And it is. The Commanders' defense is old and their corners are young and bad. Lattimore's turned into a pretty awful player. And Trey Amos is young. And then they've got Sanders still, but Sanders still's playing on the outside quite a bit. So it's really, I don't know. We're better than they are though, for sure.
Yeah.
Go Good.
Also, like with Penix, is him being inaccurate, he's going to sail a couple of throws that I think we're going to be in position to take advantage of.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to sail throws. He throws high a lot. I noticed that over the middle. Like he's going to give you some chances.
I think
cool
another Bishop pick.
Yeah, it could be a Bishop pick game kind of thing. Like could be like another like little feather in his cap kind of deal.
Yeah.
Kind of game, because I could see them doing that as well. So really, if we focus on Bijan and shut him down, I think the game's over. And I don't think they're going to stop us.
But that's easier said than done.
Yeah, and we're in a dome, no wind.
Josh Allen in a dome is
elite. I don't know what his record is in a dome, but it's good.
It's his record. I don't know what his record is.
Statistically, he's a monster. Yeah.
Yeah.
Saints, Rams, Detroit. What was the other game that we played in a dome where we just dominated? I can't remember who it was. But anyway, yeah. So
actually,
I should say, the Texans wasn't very good.
The Chargers game 2023, he wasn't either.
Yeah, so Ulbrich made Josh Allen terrible in the dorsey.
I think prime time dome games is where,
it's like, prime time.
The 1 o'clock dome games is where he struggles. It's the prime time, like the 4:30, the 8:30, stuff like that.
And Penix is basically a rookie, and I do trust McDermott to disguise coverage versus
he's
rookie
really
players really well. Yeah. And one like May has seen it before, even though May is a very young player too, a second-year player in the same year.
He played
as
us last year, yeah.
But he's played us twice, so it's like, okay, well, he knows kind of what to expect. Where, Penix is going in blind. I think that we're going to be able to scheme some things up, so I think we should be fine. But yeah, man, you got anything else for me?
I think I should be good. Go Bills.
All right, guys. I appreciate everyone showing up. Please like, subscribe. Meet us again next week. We'll put some sort of notification out that we're going to be on a different day or a different time. Maybe we'll go early for next Monday too, just so everybody knows. So I mean, like I said, maybe they want us to do a show at 8:30 on game night, but I just don't think that they're going to want us to do that. I'll do it for a short show by myself if you want me to, but yeah. But yeah, man, please like, share, subscribe, go Bills, and we'll see you next time.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliott Apollos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.